I'm going to deal with 4 points. The first 3 are to do with the myth surrounding planning permission. The council will have us believe that any plans have got to go through this holy thing called the planning committee and be approved by them. Well, the truth is that the members of each sitting of the council's planning committee, the total varies from 9 to 12 councillors, are drawn from a panel of 13 Lib Dem and 18 Conservative councillors selected by the 2 parties. The ratio of the members at each sitting is usually at least 2 Lib Dems to 1 Conservative. Considering this built-in majority that the Lib Dems have on the planning committee that will decide on a planning application by the developer Countryside, it is inconceivable that the application will be refused. Consequently, the councillors, council officials and councillors' henchmen and henchwomen in the various local community groups were attempting to mislead us when they said that the time to protest against the scheme is once actual plans are put before the planning committee. This was what they said, most forcibly, as if we should shut up and wait until this goes before the planning committee. This was an attempt to suppress any opposition to the scheme until it was too late. Fortunately, we didn't believe them, otherwise we probably wouldn't even be having this meeting tonight. The third point I want to make is, on planning, is that there are signs that the amount of housing in Countryside's plans for which planning permission is going to be sought by this committee that is biased 2 to 1 has been overstated and the public open space understated. Housing overstated, public open space understated. It means it's suspiciously like the time-honoured planning charade played out with the connivance of both sides, so that the planning committee can insist that the percentages of those components be reapportioned. And thus they'll be able to claim that the committee did address some of the protesters' concerns, and that the final scheme is a classic compromise. Could it be, I ask you, that Vince Cable's carefully publicised comment about too much housing was planted conveniently to lay the ground for the council to be able to say, you see, you can't say that we don't listen. Finally, I have a different point. The council has said that it will delay until November its decision on whether or not to sign the contract with Countryside, which is going to be subject to Countryside producing satisfactory accounts. The decision will be irrevocable, and one which the people of Twickenham will have to live with for the rest of their lives and the lives of several generations to come. I therefore propose that this meeting tonight votes on a resolution that the council be requested to postpone the signing of a contract with Countryside in November until after the council elections, which are to be held on the 6th of May next year. Take the opportunity to make the issue of a housing-based development on the site versus public open space a manifesto item. So that by doing so, the actual level of support for the present scheme will be gauged. And if the Lib Dems then do get re-elected in South Twickenham and Riverside, the opponents of the scheme would have to accept that the Lib Dems have a legitimate, democratically achieved mandate for their scheme. However, in November, it will be 38 months since that fateful, arrogant cabinet decision of October 2006 to go for a housing-based scheme. despite the fact that in 28 years the option of housing versus no housing has never been given to the people of the borough. Why not give it 6 months more? What is 6 months compared with leases of 999 years on the houses? The present administration has indulged Countryside by allowing the whole project to be delayed in order to give Countryside extra time to produce its already long overdue 2007-2008 accounts. Why can't they be as accommodating to the voters? Here is a challenge to the present administration. If you are so sure that implementation of the present scheme is in the best interest of the public, have the courage and the integrity to make it an election issue. Put it in your manifesto and let the public decide by voting you in or out. Unlike the sad, murky, perverted thing that the original Twickenham challenge became, let this be the real Twickenham challenge. Come on, Lib Dems. Stand by the word Democrats in the name of your party and prove that it does exactly say what it